Hi, Cindy. Right now it's 11 o'clock, putting the starter out to feed. Hold on. So here's my jar with the starter. You see some bubbles there. It was just fed about 5 days ago. It stays in the refrigerator so it stays alive. All right. Here's a second jar with a rubber band. This jar is a 4-cup ball jar, and the rubber band's at about 1. So my ratio is to feed the starter is 120 starter grams, 120 grams of flour, 120 grams of water. That's approximately, the flour 120 is about a cup, the water is about half a cup, and I think the starter is about a cup. We're gonna test it out right now. Using the scale, we turn it on. All right, weighs out to 0. I'm gonna put the cup measure on, and as you say, it weighs 154. I hit the tar button, and it's 0. You know what, I'm gonna weigh out the flour first, because once I put the starter in there, this will be a big mess. So that's 0 with the cup on. I just get a full cup. All right. Let's see what this weighs. This weighs 135. So let's call it a scant cup of flour. Scant means a little less. 130. Probably just grab a tablespoon and grab a tablespoon out of there. 122. All right. I'm going to put this in here now. All right. Close this up. Put away my flour for now. I'm going to take the flour off because it weighs something. All right. So now I'm going to put this back on. This should be 0 because it's the same size, right? Now I'm going to weigh out 120 of the starter. Hold on, I need 2 hands for this. Okay, it's 170, and I'm not even at full cup. So I think the full cup's not right. I think probably half a cup. So I'm gonna take this off, put the half cup measure on. All right, tar that out so it's 0, and I'm gonna fill this up and see if that's 120. Sure enough, a half a cup of starter, 128, close enough. So I'm going to put the starter in your mix in the jar, and then I'm going to add the half cup of water and mix that first, because it'll be easier to mix the flour if you mix the flour and the water first. I'm going to put that in, and then I'll add the half cup of water. All right, just as a check, I measured this jar and it's 379. It's called 380. So 380 empty, if I had 120, that should be 500 grams. So I zero this out, and put this jar on. Sure enough, just about 500 grams. All right, and if you look to see where this rubber band is, that looks about it. That's the half cup mark. That's the 1 cup. Okay, this over here is a half cup, and that's the rubber band's a 1 cup. Now I'll add the water. As I fill this to the top, I'm going to use my funnel here. I'm afraid I'm going to spill this water. All right, I got most of it. All right, put this to the side. Grab my stirrer. My stirrer's got a little bit of a thing on it. All right, move this. And now I'm going to stir this vigorously. I still want to get some air in it, but the point is just to get the thicker starter mixed up. That's pretty well mixed. All right. Now I'm going to add my 120 grams or 1 cup of flour. Once again, I will use this funnel because I'm trying not to make a mess of this jar I'm going to give to you. You can make a mess once you get it. So hold on. Flour is in. I'm going to begin stirring. All right. Still nice and loose. All right. But I'll finish stirring, but you can see that this mixture is probably about, that's the 1 cup, that's the 2 cups, so it's gonna be slightly below 2 cups. I'll put the rubber band at that level once I mix it, and then we wait 6 hours. All right, so now I have 120 of starter, 120 of water, 120 of flour, and that is a half a cup of water, half a cup of starter, and 1 cup of flour. So 120 plus 120 plus 120 is 360. My jar is 426, so that's 786 if it's right. That's obviously gonna be a little off, but let's see. 750. So it's a little shy. That's just a lot shy. Close enough. So this, I put some markers on the side so you can read easier. You see that's the 1 mark. The rubber band's slightly below the 1.5 mark. So we want this to more than double in the next 5 to 6 hours. It's one of the reasons why weight's better than the size, because obviously if you took a cup of this and used it as a starter as opposed to a cup of it when it's twice the volume, we'll just take the cup when it's ready. Anyway, this is going to go more than double from 1 1/4 to probably 3 in the next 5 or 6 hours. And then you come over and then we do the next step. I have to take a check on that. I was looking at the wrong jar lid. So this jar is 380. So 380 and 360 is 380 and 360 is 740. And this weighed 750, so that actually is just right. I forgot to mention, I just cover the jar loosely. I just don't want bugs flying in. That's good enough for the 5 or 6 hour wait.